Blog Talk
Guarantee y'all somebody
Radio.
gonna pick up this line.
Welcome to the war room. We got Dev, Kill, Jimmy, PJ, B. Austin, the hot block commander. How you wanna end a 1 or 2 hour show to keep the brain running with the premise of talk sports on a national level? Bold with the topic, sorta like the rebels when it's game time. They like the Fab Five during prime time. Sports conglomerates speak their minds a little bit. For sports medicine and sports veterans and greats. The 4th and 26th, so the war in Kuwait. It's the war room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys, diversified and educated.
Yes, sir. 499. What's good, War Room family? Once again, live in the War Room. Brought to you by War Room Sports on the War Room Sports Podcast Network. You're now with us for our last show of the year, our last show of the decade, and our last show before we hit our 500th episode. 500th episode. Tune in for that next week. It's going to be a doozy. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Devin McMillan. I'm at the round table with my brothers. We got Jimmy the Blueprint, B. Austin in the building. We're going to put our spin on the biggest stories in sports from the past week and reminisce on some of the best sports accomplishments of the decade, which ends in 5 days. So pull up a chair. Keep it locked right here in the War Room. If you want to get in on the conversation, just sign in right now to the By the Hood chat room at blogtalkradio.com/the War Room. Shout out to Neil, who's already in there. Good evening to you too, ma'am. You can also call us directly in about 5 minutes. Gus Griffin won't be coming on to give us his picks, but I have his picks. I'll read them off real quick. Digital Extreme Tech Hotline will open right after that. That number is 323-410-0012. But before we get started, as usual, make sure that during the week when we're not live on the air that you guys check out archived episodes of our show on our network at warroomsports.com and the War Room Sports mobile app, also on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blog Talk, Google, and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you do your podcast listening, we are sure to be there. Also check out our sister shows, our brother and sister shows. We got all kinds of stuff on the network. After Further Review with the Mayor, we got the Tissue and the Tape Hip Hop Show with Phil and Survive. We got the Broad Street Line with Roy and Chris. John Appetit, if you like to eat, with the Burtons. And our newest show, that's called Safe Space, Safe, S-A-F-E, Sincerity Ain't For Everybody, done by the fellas here in the War Room in conjunction with the guys from Tissue and the Tape, and a few of our other ignorant friends who are going to jump on with us every time we do a program and just give you the real about everything: entertainment, music, sports, politics, religion, whatever we want to talk about, whatever you want to talk about, because, you know, we're going to let you guys send in some topic requests, and we just going to whatever, man. It's a freestyle show. It's the show we've been talking about on this program for years. It's our show about nothing. That show is called Safe Space. So go to the War Room Sports Podcast Network. Check out episode 1, which is already up on the site. What up, brothers? A decade in the books, man. We've been doing this since September 10th, 2010, or September 9th, 2010. We are a few days away from New Year's 2020, still plugging along, episode 499. What's y'all thoughts on that, man? A decade in the books.
Decade in the books, man. I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be prouder. But before we get on with the get on and get down with the get down, man, rest in peace, shout out to Ed Asheroff, man. I know what you went through, man. May you rest in power.
Yo, B. Austin is having his flu game right now. He's having his pneumonia game. Yo, we don't do load management. Even when we're on our deathbed, we don't do load management.
Yeah, I think it's highly wild that my man giving a rest in peace shout out and you dying laughing. Like, I get why you are, but I think
it's weird, man.
Dev's going to hell.
I'm pretty sure in this 9.5 years that people have been listening to us, they already know at this point we're weird and we will laugh at anything.
I hope Bull come back. I hope Bull come back with a melanated sister though next time. But you know, that's my
yo.
Come on, let's move on.
We sure will. we will move on. And the hot topics and Gus's picks are brought to you by MyBookie. Look, man, you guys can make tons of bread sports betting at MyBookie. Just check it out. The NFL's in its final week, and before the playoffs, and the NBA just had its Christmas slate that, in my opinion, didn't live up to any of the hype. But if you still haven't checked out MyBookie, because y'all probably lost a lot of money yesterday as well, this is the perfect time to do it. You can lay down some cash on the biggest games in sports. Just join us and thousands of other online players placing bets at mybookie.ag. Again, that's mybookie.ag. If you guys are tired of getting the runaround when it's time to collect on your bets, that's why we urge you to join MyBookie. If you win, you get paid. No hassle. You're wasting your time betting anywhere else. They even have in-game live betting so you can place wagers after the games even start. So you can see how the Sixers started to dig up in Milwaukee yesterday, and then you could throw a last-minute bet in, while we already had the 10-point lead before it blew up to 29. But that's a whole other story. Join now. MyBookie will match 50% of your first deposit up to $1,000. Just use the promo code WARROOM, all caps, to activate this offer. Visit mybookie.ag today. Play, win, get paid. That's all there is to it. All right, so Gus's picks. He was 4-3 last week. Trying to make one of those late season pushes like he always does to try to get at least over 500. So y'all not out in the streets looking for him. But 4-3 last week puts him at 41-44-1 overall for the season. So he still has some work to do here in this week 17 to get y'all off of his back. So his picks go as follows. He's taking the Titans at -3.5 at the Texans. He's taking the Colts -4 at the Jags. Bucks Falcons, their over-under is 47.5. He is going over. The Giants, he's taking them +4.5 versus my Philadelphia Eagles. He's taking the Jets +1.5 at the Buffalo Bills. He's taking the Seahawks +3.5 versus the San Francisco 49ers, and the Broncos -3 versus the Raiders. He did not give me any upset specials, but we will see if he has some outright upset specials. I'll make sure we put them on the docket so he can get credit for them if he hits on them next week. So we will talk to Gus next week during the first round of the playoff, the wild card round of the playoffs, to see how he finished overall and to see if any of you guys out there are looking for him. We're not really on the run. We're not snitches right over here, but for the right price, we can even make your hotter. Anyway, man, NFL, let's get into this real quick, man. The NFC lease, we've been following this like everybody else for the last 3 weeks because we know the Eagles and Cowboys have been in a battle of futility throughout the season to win this division. It wasn't a game for all of the marbles because it would have been had the Cowboys won, but these two teams locked up in a Week 16 battle. The Philadelphia Eagles were victorious 17-9 over the Dallas Cowboys. They couldn't even get a touchdown. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Eagles fan. It's just surprising to me because even through all of Dallas's futility, I still picked them to come into our house last week and win the game. They couldn't even get into the end zone. Are the Eagles going to finish this? Because, and this is what I talked to Jimmy about all week, meme makers have gone crazy on the Cowboys all week. And this is stuff you can't take back. I think a lot of people may have forgotten if the Eagles lose to the Giants and the Cowboys win against Washington, they still win this division. And the meme makers were relentless against them. I mean, I know what they're saying could still matter because they'd still be backing into the playoffs, but still, how salty would you feel if you unleashed AR-15-like rounds at the Cowboys all week and then the Eagles go out there and blow it against the lowly New York Giants, who scored a lot of points last week? That's what, and I think so too. I think it's highly likely. They scored a lot of points last week. The Eagles aren't that adept at scoring at the particular moment because all they have in the lineup is tight ends and a running back. Running backs. I can say running backs. it's difficult to get points on the board. They've been, as of late, controlling games, keeping drives alive, but they're not lighting up the scoreboard as far as points are concerned. So if the Giants were to jump out, with a couple of early touchdowns or something like that, and they're not playing against Eli this time, they're going to be playing against Danny Dimes, who,
Danny Dimes.
I think did he put up 5 touchdown passes last week against Washington?
Danny,
he's a rookie, but
355
he's a rookie. But do you trust the Philadelphia Eagles defense to even lean on the fact that he's a rookie? Does that even matter? They made Haskins look good 2 weeks ago, and he's not good.
Yo, trust is a strong word, beloved. I don't trust their defense to do nothing for another goddamn body. But let me tell you this, though. What's interesting to me is watching that game. First off, Dak is trash. I agree with everything B. Austin ever said. Just because
he was hurt. His shoulder was injured.
Yo,
he was trash in that game.
Just because I was in my fantasy championship last week and my man couldn't give me one touchdown, so I ended up in second place. Dude,
if Jimmy turned on you like that, it had something to do with him personally. He's like, I agree with everything B. Austin said because this dude ain't giving me nothing in the championship.
Yo, my man, listen, I had Amari Cooper in him, and I basically lost because of that. Also because I got McCaffrey, and the Panthers decided to try out a rookie for some odd reason. Anyway,
earlier in the season, Jimmy, that's at least 50 points. Him and Cooper together.
In the season, but
that's at least 50 points.
The season and McCaffrey, that's how I got to the ship. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, man. Bottom line is this, man. That game, difficult to watch. The thing about it is the Cowboys are both having off seasons, but the Eagles, not giving them an excuse, but, I don't even know who they trotting out there at this point. They have injury upon injury upon injury. And Dallas has all of their stars. They're quote-unquote stars. With Zeke, Amari, and Dak, that's supposed to be their triplets, right? So that's the new triplets. You still are trotting them out there, and you can't get one touchdown in a game that matters.
Shout out to B2K. Supposed to be.
And
Marion.
I can tell you who the Eagles are trotting out there at wide receiver. Greg Ward.
Dog, they got young Randy Moss Jr.
Second grade teacher. That did an audition on American Gladiator.
The Eagles got a boy number 84 that's been cooking the last couple weeks. I don't know.
That's what we're talking about.
Young Randy Moss.
Jimmy called him number 84.
Number 84.
That's great. He's number 84, yo. 84.
And then they got a real tall African American that probably go to the same church as Dak. He didn't do ish the entire season, but he just happened to be tall. And Carson, sometimes I debate whether it's ball placement or he just that strong. He's Big John Stud that he overthrows. But if you're tall, it doesn't really matter. So he ended up making a couple.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
My thing is this though, right? So I know we're going to talk about we're going to get into the conversation about Jason Garrett.
Yeah, of course he is.
Jason Garrett and whether he's a scapegoat or whatnot. But the one thing I can say is whether he's a scapegoat or not, what I can say is the team definitely don't want to play football. They quit on him. So it don't even matter how good a coach you are when cats don't want to play for you. You could be the greatest coach in the world and don't nobody want to play for you. Don't matter.
Mark Jackson. Even though everybody out here, every time an opening comes out, Mark Jackson. I'm like, yo, did y'all just ignore the stories where people didn't like to play for Mark Jackson? People just ignore those parts of the story.
Yo, they said, from all accounts, Tom Coughlin was one of the greatest coaches. Yo, people didn't like him.
Yo,
and they quit on him.
Tom Coughlin is a great coach, and no one ever liked him. Ever.
Yeah,
Tibbs. He out here running practice like this to Hoosiers. Don't nobody... Yo, Tibbs being the NBA running suicides. Everybody else don't even practice. We do walkthroughs. This boy got us running suicides.
Only person that like him is a weirdo.
$30 million a year, and you told me to get to the line, get to the baseline. Man, FOH.
Get to the baseline. Get these nuts. What you talking about, cuz? Everybody out there get what Jimmy just said. Well, everybody out there who's a hooper, you know what get to the baseline means.
Absolutely. Yo, my salary is the size of the GDP of a small country. You telling me to get to the baseline? Come on, Kyle.
Man, I will erase this baseline and dare y'all to do something about it.
I will fire you. How about that? I will fire you.
That's what happened.
That's what happened. I know.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so just quick. Do y'all think the Eagles are gonna finish this out, or y'all think they're gonna choke and give it to the Cowboys?
I'm gonna go with my head pause on this one and just say that the Giants win.
The Cowboys could blow a game to Washington as well, and then the Eagles would be cool either way. But I think it's more. I put it like this. I think it's more likely that the Eagles lose to the Giants than the Cowboys lose to Washington. But I'm going to say the Eagles are going to go out here and finish it. I don't know how. Like I said,
how about this prediction?
Unless the defense steps up again, because like I said, I don't think we can score with the Giants. So the defense got to participate.
And the defense can't step up because they ain't got no feet to step up with. They trash.
Here's my prediction.
I got both teams losing.
Yep, I got the Eagles and the Cowboys both.
And the Cowboys.
They both gonna lose.
I mean, they just trash. This division is trash. So y'all think they both gonna lose on week 17, and somebody's gonna back into the playoffs and get their doors beat off the next week. I feel y'all.
How about this? The Eagles game is going to end first with the Eagles losing. And the Cowboys knowing that all you have to do is pull it out in the fourth quarter, pause, to win and go to the playoffs. And they're not going to be able to get it in.
They're not going to be able to get it up. They're not going to be able to get it up or pull it out.
Yo. I see what you did there. All right, that's crazy. And then one of them going to get into they're going back into the playoffs and win a round. Everybody, the whole world going to be mad.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
The whole world going to be mad. NFC shouldn't even be in the playoffs right now.
We're going to be facing Seattle. And as much as I love Beast Mode, I don't believe.
Yeah, Beast Mode is back in Seattle. They got desperate out there.
Couch like 2 weeks ago.
Right. Well, eating Skittles.
And normally when somebody starts working out to come back, it's like a 3-month process. Like you start working out 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Bullshit, I started working out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. His name. He's like I noticed some injuries, so I went to the gym. And when he went to the gym, he was just talking about LA Fitness. He was talking about LA Fitness. He wasn't talking about with his trainer. He went to LA Fitness and got on the treadmill.
He went to Planet Fitness. He went to Planet Fitness for the $10 John. He put
the $5 $10.
Y'all about to go back to the league.
He don't spend that type.
His name is Beast Mode though. He'll be the dude to show up and surprise you a little bit. But no, if that matchup did happen as an Eagles fan, I wouldn't really sweat Beast Mode unless they were at the 1 yard line. But knowing them, they might not give it to him at the 1 yard line. So unless that was a part of his contract, like to come back, like y'all gotta give me a rock. Yeah, but now they're gonna give it to him, and he washed up, and he ain't gonna get the yard.
He ain't gonna get in there. I can honestly see him off of adrenaline and talent if they give him the rock, because they talking about giving him the rock 15 to 20 times. I can see him playing well in the first quarter, maybe the second. The second half of that game, as a professional athlete, I don't care who you are, his cardio is going to be turducken. It's not going to that's when it's going to come all apart.
Currently got the Bulls.
He's probably going to feel like he swallowed a blizzard by the second half.
All they do is dribble. They
6 inches of snow in his lungs. Yeah.
You can't be worse than that.
But it's crazy that, like, there's confidence in Marshawn Lynch like that at this period. It's crazy how his career went. Because y'all remember the days in Buffalo when he was starting to be considered a bust? He goes to Seattle, and he turned into, people talking beast mode for the Hall.
Borderline Hall of Famer. I'm gonna tell you this though. I remember him in Oakland 2 years ago, and he wasn't doing ish in Oakland other than doing the hyphy dance and hyping the crowd up.
I mean,
Beast Mode or Frank Gore. Shout out to Phil Matic.
Yo, at their absolute best, I'm taking Beast Mode.
Phil's gonna be mad as shit when he listens. Yo, I'm about to text Phil right now. Tune in.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. Jimmy said that. Jimmy said that.
I'm not even trolling.
Jimmy said that to go at Phil. I'm not going at you, Phil, but I am taking Beast Mode at his best. So Beast Mode. Frank is my guy, yo. I root for all ugly ninjas, so Frank is in my book. Like I hope he gets to the hall.
Let me get my pen, jotting down notes for the next episode of Safe Space. All right, got it.
Listen,
got it.
I'm just saying, at their absolute best, I'm taking Beast Mode, Yo.
No, I mean,
right,
you know,
Frank over Khalil.
I feel y'all. I just want to see argument.
Frank's a better accumulator. Frank's a better accumulator. I give him that. But
yeah, it is. Jimmy, have you ever had Frank Gore top 5 in the league?
I don't think so.
Oh, you're hating. You're hating.
I know there's a lot of people listening like, yo, why is this so funny to them? Y'all will find out one day.
You hate.
Just listen to Safe Space. Y'all will find out.
I think Frank's an amazing running back. Like, you know, I root for Frank in MH. Ever since I saw what happened in college, him coming into the league, I root for the ball. But I just never felt like he was one of the best.
Like, Frank is steady. Frank is good.
Exactly.
He's steady. Hey, like you said, considering what happened to him in college, he stayed healthy. Man. He stayed healthy throughout his whole NFL career. So he's
Reggie
good
Miller
and
was
steady.
A solid player.
But I get it.
Always
at his
good,
peak, he was never like a superstar.
All right,
and that's
Frank
exactly
Gore,
that's all I'm saying.
Frank Gore or Curtis Martin?
They're the same dude to me.
That's tough.
No, real talk. They're the same dude to me. They're the same cat to me.
Yo, I was
dumb nice too.
I was fooled by Curtis Martin.
Frank might have still played longer than Curtis Martin.
Curtis was he wore nice suits. He was very articulate. He was kind. He was humble. So I probably overrated
him. He said he was kind.
And then I went back.
Kind as a running back. Kind.
You was
he
kind.
Was nice on the field, I remember
he was kind.
I remember him I remember him at Pitt, and he was a beast. Like he was a baller, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy sound like he want to take Curtis. He sound like he want to take Curtis over Frank.
Jimmy would take Heath Sherman over Frank if Phil was on the line.
To me, that's a great comparison. It's a great comparison. Like they're very
Heath Sherman
similar.
was the only running back with 3 legs. So I'm taking Heath over him. Heath Sherman ran like a wounded dog, a 3-legged dog.
Who was the bull whose knee went the other way in that Miami game? Don't know.
Running back?
Yeah, the other dude from the U. No, not Gore. The other one. Damn, what is his name? I know exactly what you're talking about. Because they had him on the video congratulating Frank when he hit the milestone a couple weeks ago. Willis McGahee. That bull.
Him or Frank?
I ain't gonna lie.
Him or Frank?
I got that answer from Tobias.
Okay.
Jimmy, at their peak.
Tobias was saying, Tobias is giving out answers so you can hurry up and answer his call. He's like, all right, now can I get on?
Willis McGahee or Frank Gore at their peak. Watch Jimmy shit on board.
Oh, man, that's tough. Like, no, it's not.
I'm not even going to let y'all do this, man. I'm going to move on.
That's not tough, man. That's not tough. I'm taking
Be off and being disrespectful.
No. Frank Gore. Frank Gore.
Yo. First of all, his name
Frank
Willis.
Frank Gore,
His name Willis.
Yeah.
Let's move on before we take Tobias's call, man.
Ain't Willis McGahee
Jimmy did bring this up.
With child support?
Probably.
Was that him or was that the bull from the Buffalo Bills?
I think McGahee got like 10 kids by 12 different women.
11 women.
Ain't that Travis Henry or somebody? What's his name?
Oh, maybe that was him. Maybe it was Travis Henry.
He played for the Bills.
Yeah,
yes, sir. He got 9 kids by 13 women.
He got 9 kids by 13 women.
Hey,
Henry, yo.
Jimmy, you brought this up earlier, man. Back to this whole NFC lease thing. Jason Garrett, like I hear a lot of people putting it on him because we're still in this mode, and we've been here for probably all of the decade that we're celebrating right now. We've been in this mode where people always allow the talent level of the Cowboys, the personnel of the Cowboys. So lately, I've heard a lot of, when your team is this talented, if they can't win or they can't get over a hump, it has to be the coaching. So a lot of people are blaming Jason Garrett. And you have players now coming out, kind of supporting that with their words. DeMarcus Lawrence said something this week saying how, they weren't prepared or something like that, kind of throwing it off onto the coach. Do y'all believe that Jason Garrett is the number one problem, or at some point do we have to start either holding this quote-unquote talented roster accountable? I mean, do we have to start holding them accountable, or do we just say, okay, maybe they're just not that talented? Maybe we're just overrating the Cowboys like we have been for the past 15 years.
It's a combination.
What do y'all think is the primary? That's what I'm sure it has to be a combination, but what's the primary reason that they suck?
Yo, the primary reason to me is
Jerry Jones. Gerald Jones.
No, to me the primary thing is because here's the thing, yo. I low key. Here's the thing. I be pooping on Jerry Jones a lot. I always have. But I low key think that Jerry actually knows what he's doing because Jerry builds good teams. Like we talk about him all you want to. The one thing
Jimmy, he's a great talent evaluator. He's a great talent evaluator, and he goes out and gets talent.
Is he though? But that's what I'm asking y'all, because I'm like, we say that the people he get is talented, but then they don't win none. So are they talented?
But here's my thing.
Takes more than talent.
Statistically, they are.
It takes more than talent, and I do think that they've quit. They do not play for the guy. Like I said, it doesn't matter how good you are, but they have little like flashes where you see how good. Like when you think about that. Like with
like
the
that
guys
Rams
got
game.
at the
beat the monkey out of
at the skills position. When you see the guys
Mm-hmm.
they got on the offensive lines, at times they throw people around. Like it's no way you shouldn't score. Even if they don't win the game, how do they not put a touchdown? Like that is ridiculous. They don't seem to play for the guy, and I can see not playing for the guy when all he does is sit there and clap all damn day long. He shows no emotion as a coach.
Yo, let me give y'all before y'all continue. Let me give you the quote. DeMarcus Lawrence said they asked why his team couldn't get the job done. He said, "Talent without a direction is nothing at all." He threw his coach up under the double-decker London bus. Rolled over him, backed over him again. Yeah, he killed him. He killed him. Talent without direction.
Here's my issue with him in particular. When you get paid $100 million and you are the highest paid Cowboy in the history of Cowboys, and
you don't get no sacks,
4.5 sacks in a season, you can't be the guy that says that, man. Because you, being who you are supposed to go get double-digit sacks just because of pride. Just because of pride in your own game, just because of pride in your own. You mean to tell me in 16 games, and I don't even care if you miss 3, so call it 13. In 13 games, you couldn't get 10 sacks, and you getting paid all of that bread? Nah, you can't be the one to speak up. As far as Coach Clapp, Jerry, see, here's the thing. I think Jerry is exceptional at judging talent. Jerry's exceptional at negotiating with talent and getting them on board. But where the rubber...
Yeah, take this money.
That's negotiate. Where the rubber leaves.
The only person he negotiating with is Dak and Zeke, Black Boys.
Is he injects himself into the coaching decisions and into the operational personnel decisions of the coach, and that is not a GM job. But game planning and all of that stuff is not a GM's job, and being a part of what they do on the field.
So that the Mike Mayock.
Yeah.
So Mike Mayock be straight on the field. What you call that play for? But
yeah, he does.
Hey, let's get Tobias on the line while we're talking about this, because he said the problem with the Cowboys is the players don't have to answer to the coach; they only answer to the owner. Kind of like what you're saying right now. Let's get him on the line so he can.
The owner wants to be their homeboy as opposed to being.
Tobias, what's up, man?
Hey, roll down tide, fellas. All I got to say is that Nick Wright is. Hey, I don't know who's matter right. Hey, I don't know who's matter right now, Shannon Sharp or Nick Wright. Boy, I don't know who's matter. But Both of them are sick this morning, but the thing with
definitely had to go give LeBron some easing. They probably was on their knees all night helping LeBron out feel better. But go ahead.
Hey, all I gotta say, Savannah ain't worried about the women LeBron hang out with. He worried about the homeboys. That's all I got. That's neither here nor there. But
yeah, both of them dudes emerged from the water this morning like.
The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
Yeah. But I gotta be honest with you guys. Let's be honest with this, gentlemen. The Cowboys' talent's overrated. The only reason people hype them up because they're on TV like 10 times a year prime time, and these sports shows only talk about them. So
the only players we see?
Yes. So, it's 4 sacks. Shaq Barrett got 16 and a half out of nowhere. He's making like $4 million, for the Bucs and doing that. Chandler Jones leading the league. Josh Allen's a rookie with double-digit sacks. This guy's the highest paid in the position. They only got 4 and talking about the coach. After a while, because here's the thing also these players don't get. We all know Jason Garrett's a bad coach, but what if the new coach comes in, he's like a Bill Parcells type who's going to get some control? Your ass may be out the picture.
I'm about to say, but they tried that already with a Bill Parcells type. Matter of fact, it was Bill Parcells. Like,
it was the tuna.
Like B. Austin said, as long as an organization is getting that much quote-unquote participation from its owner, no matter what he wants to name himself, in addition to owner, like it's not going to work. Like in Washington, they feel that Daniel Snyder injects himself into football business a little too much. Jerry Jones, like I said, a couple of us have praised him, saying he is a good talent evaluator, but
he doesn't build a team. See, here's the thing. First, the Redskins only drafted Haskins because the owner's kid went to school with him and he liked him.
No, there's truth to that. There's actually
he's trash unless he played the Eagles 16 times a year.
I know, but also the Cowboys. I heard Michael Lombardi say this, and he made sense with this. And this is why I got on a guy on a sports group, a Cleveland fan. I got him about this. The Cowboys acquire talent, but they don't build a team. Because I give Jerry credit on this. He built the trenches. He addresses those. I like, but they just accumulate players and don't build. And a lot of times it's about the team.
The offensive line that he's been praised for the past 5 years, I think that was a result of people criticizing the way he was building teams before. Because remember, it was a time when Jerry Jones was all about the skill positions, and they didn't have much of an offensive line. He flipped the script, started building it inside out, and like Jimmy was talking about earlier, their skill position players are pretty good right now. So it's confusing. All I'm saying is, to why these guys are fighting to back into a playoff spot right now.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right, because the thing is also is that with team, one thing is also if you re-sign Dak Prescott, you got to make sure you sign the right type of receivers. You can't have a 50-50 receiver.
Stand still, boy.
You got to have so like who knows? Cause they gave a first round pick.
Gotta have a McNabb dude. He gotta have a button hook running dude that come back to the ball and stand stationary.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. You just gotta understand your people.
Their play calling at times is like, I don't even understand it. Like I don't even know what they be doing. Like, so
Jimmy, and that's another example of how things change week to week. Because do you remember how Kellen Moore was getting blown all the first half of the season by every pundit in America? Now they like, yo, he got to go too. Y'all was on
what they're doing is running speed out.
I think sometimes that's the problem though, Dev. Sometimes when you start off and people are giving you blow skis, you start feeling yourself and you start drawing. You start overthinking it. Like, yo, they
start watching the show, the hot take show.
And I'll say this before I talk about basketball real quick. That one, look at the first 3 teams they played, but you play who's in front of you in the league. Mind, he's a 31-year offensive coordinator going in veteran defensive coordinators. And,
no, I mean you do, and I believe a little bit in both of those type of things. I mean, you play who's in front of you, of course. That's the obvious part. But then I also believe in,
sometimes
sometimes people start off with like an easy schedule, and
the Packers
you have the people out there like, look, man, you are what your schedule says you are, And then later in the season, we're like, yeah, I told you they was trash, but, I didn't want to listen.
Nobody good. and like one thing, think about this NBA real quick.
Season is
but,
a marathon
I know.
The season is a marathon, man. It's changed in the course of the season, dog. And all, like, a lot of times we look at these games from week to week, but there's so much that goes into a season, which is why it's so difficult to win a championship. Outside of the fact that you got 50 whatever players and they all got personal lives, like, girlfriends and wives probably mad at them. They don't show up to play. Like, there's all kinds of craziness goes on within the course of an NFL season. Like, in the beginning of the season, offensive coordinator probably had a, young tenderoni that cut him off because he, put too much time into something. Like, it could be all kinds of craziness, man. Bottom line is, they ain't producing.
Tobias,
go ahead, there.
Did you have fun on Christmas Day NBA slate? That was anticlimactic. It was trash. The Lakers game was lit. That game was pretty good.
Cause my dad's a Sixers fan, right? He's a big Sixers fan. Old Dr. J days, and he was like, "I'm glad Giannis shooting 3-pointers." Remember we were talking about that, how they were praising Giannis making those threes in the Lakers. I'm like,
you should tell them. The guys I talk to every day say they don't fear the Bucks. I fear a whole lot of other teams in the East, but that matchup, I don't fear it.
But see, here's the thing. They want him to shoot the 3-pointer. They want him to be Greek Dirk because you're taking away from his greatest skills. That's what LeBron and wanted.
And he's taking 3-point shots away from a bunch of dudes that can hit him, like Middleton, Hill. I don't want those guys shooting. Middleton and Hill, they water.
It reminds you of Joel. The worst thing that can happen for Greek Freak or Joel is that they hit one early.
Make one.
If they hit one early, that thing will fly the rest of the game.
None of them got Westbrook. When Westbrook hits one early.
Yesterday it was pride because Joel was straight disrespecting Cat. He was fading down under the rim when dude had the ball. So he was like, okay.
Yeah, he was.
he
treated ball like he was on Rondo.
You know the thing is, when I watch, right? People don't they talk about, they got to get rid of him and Ben Simmons. Why the hell would you? Make it work. That's what I call coaching. Make it work. Because who are you going to get as talented as Ben? You got to accept Ben Simmons for who he is. That's my thing. Accept it. And I think people ain't accepting, like people ain't accepting that.
Yeah, people try and make, a lot of times people try and make teams conform to what the cookie cutter model is for that particular time, as opposed to really, because it's lazy analysis, right? The average fan doesn't understand basketball as a game, and just because and that's football included, just because everyone wants a Trae Young doesn't mean that you can't have Twin Towers down low banging. Just because everyone wants to throw the ball 56 times doesn't mean that you can't hand the rock off. That's another one of the problems the Cowboys have, is because deep in his soul, Kellen Moore honestly detests running the ball. So it's like even when he has success,
Zeke got 13 carries and a must-win game.
You stop pooping on people, man. Like, some people do know the game. It's just that people be in their feelings, man. They got their favorites. But it's also a thing where when it comes to Ben and B, they're going to have to just basically get it done. Like, because I don't care what nobody say, they don't like each other. That's the one thing. Like, they don't like each other. But it doesn't mean
noticing they don't be high-fiving each other. You hit the biggest shot of your career, and everybody else going to hug the ball. They're going to walk past each other.
No, they act like, I'm telling you, they don't like each other. But that doesn't mean you can't win. That doesn't mean you can't win together. But what that does mean
Magic and Reem,
if you don't get it
Kobe
done
and Shaq.
If y'all, the Shaq didn't like each other, still actually, had success. But if y'all don't win, that's going to start to, it's going to start to, like, be nasty. Because especially in Philadelphia, if they don't get it done soon, or at least go to the chip, watch a little shot start being thrown between the two of them.
You know what?
Because like you said, Kobe and Shaq, they can argue with each other because they knew at the end of the season they was going to be in the finals, no matter what they said to each other. Like, we can rumble in practice. We're going to be in the finals.
On the court. If they can somehow at least get to the finals this year, I think it'll be cool. But if they have another early exit and watch, it's going to be Joel too. Joel wants to say something.
Last year was their year. Last year was their year.
You know what?
That shot don't go down and they survive overtime, man. They might be the champs right now. That window might be closed. Go ahead, Tobias.
You know what? No, y'all talk the Laker game, right? And I see these pundits talking, right? When I was watching the game, right, Anthony Davis to me, I thought I was watching the light-skinned LaMarcus Aldridge out there doing fadeaway jumpers against guys who are smaller than you. You know, and the thing with the Clippers is that I think the Lakers, they keep Iguodala. One, he's 35 years old. Dude, what is it Grizzlies have to trade him to you? And also, do we know if he's even good? You know, people act like this is under Iguodala 2012. You know,
and he hasn't played for the Grizzlies, right?
I mean, he still was productive in last year with Golden State. Not saying that he's the answer to anybody, but I do feel like he's going to go to L.A. The thing is, I think he might go to the Clippers. Like, he might end up there too.
So he's going to pull a Kawhi on
so I think
everybody.
He still has value. Yeah, he still has value, and the fact of the matter is he's getting a lot of rest right now. And Memphis is holding that ticket. But that's just what, that's just what it is, though.
And you know, and I was watching it, right, and I hear all these people who making up this Watch King narrative, like, dude, he's in year 17. He's not supposed to be the best player. Him being in discussion as best player is an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's utterly amazing. I ain't gonna lie. I'll give LeBron that, you know, for as much discord as is in LeBron and I's relationship. I give the brother the respect of 17 years in, and he's still running around like he's in year 8. Like, respect, dude.
Damn, good player.
Yo, to me, that whole argument is ridiculous and stupid, and especially to the cats. And I know y'all gonna listen to this. The cats that be on page getting upset at somebody calling somebody else the best player. Like, yo, that's not a real award. Like, what are we even arguing over? Like, it's not even real. That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of people arguing over who started the Creep Squad on Love and Hip Hop. That's what that is. Like, the best player. Like, what does that even mean? It's not even a thing. But people get upset when you don't say that their favorite is the best player. Like, it's all subjective anyway.
It is. It is because right now, Luka is killing it right now, and he's growing. But I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see this much from. I didn't see this coming from Luka. Most people didn't, because we always hear about the hot European guy coming in every year. About that.
Yeah.
You know, hell, Nikola Mirotic is supposed to be like the next great thing. He was just a decent player. But it's just that some of these guys are coming in, they're good players, and hey, he had a great run.
But from week to week, it actually changes. From week to week, it actually changes. Like, because statistically speaking, Greek Freak is having a better statistical season than anyone, right?
Yeah.
But there are some weeks when James Harden is playing like he's from another planet, and then there are weeks when, like you said, when it's Luka. Like, it just changes from week to week. There are a lot of good players in the league, man. Like, and we
enjoying it.
And you have national TV games where somebody actually made Greek Freak look like a bum.
But that doesn't take away from the fact, yo, it's 82 game season. People like to make these judgments from game to game, and it's ridiculous.
From game to game, you cannot do that. I was in the barbershop this morning, and, you know, they watching the shows, the debate shows with Skip and all of them, and Nick Wright making a bunch of excuses. It's just amazing how these people have the nerve to come out of their mouth with some of the stuff they say after one game in an 82-game season. They have to know that that's what they're doing. They have to know that's how their bread is buttered or something. Cause
they know.
You can't be, like, in your right mind, you can't have hot takes like this every day.
You know the problem with the Lakers is? You know what the problem with Lakers is, and it's pretty simple. They just need one more guy, like another combo guard guy. That's what they're missing. Just that one more combo guard guy.
Tobias, the Lakers' problem is that they have to play the Clippers. Outside of that, they don't have any
that
problem.
Too.
You know, they have the best record in the league.
They don't match up.
We're talking about the problems with the Lakers when they have the best record in the league. The problem is they want to get to the Clippers. That's their only problem.
They don't match up with them.
Their problem is
they don't match up with them,
in the same city.
They don't match up with them. They don't match up with the Clippers.
That's the problem. There's matchup problems everywhere. Like, the Lakers don't want to see the Clippers in the playoffs. I don't think the Bucks want to see the Sixers in the playoffs. The Sixers probably don't want to see like a Toronto, you know, even though they defeated.
Go look at them. Hey,
they're deep, but I don't think they're the threat that some people thought they were at the beginning of the season.
At least they're still a good. Yeah. At least they're still a good team, though, man. Not give them credit.
But thinking back to last year, though, like if you remember all of our conversations, that's the one matchup I did not want for the Sixers. I did not want Toronto. I was like, yo, give me the Bucks all day. I think we even, if we get them in the playoffs, I think we've conquered the whole Boston thing. I did not want to see Toronto, and of course, we see.
The Sixers,
as a matter of fact, both matchups in the first round, I didn't want to see. I didn't want to see Brooklyn. They beat them in 5, but I didn't want to see Brooklyn. Yeah. Brooklyn gave the Sixers fits last season.
But that's out of Miami. Heat this year get the Sixers fits. They don't want to see Jimmy Butler and them young boys.
It's all about, you're right about matchup, because I remember last year, right? Denver won all those games, but they could not even keep it close to Golden State. But ironically, the Sacramento Kings, who did make the playoffs, matched up with them pretty well. Just crazy how
that. And Houston still can't beat Golden State.
They still can't.
They still can't.
You know who Golden State had their team yesterday? Golden State, Houston lost to a bunch of guys who play 2K as a silhouette. They don't even know who half these guys are, man. but
that's because your man, the beard is from another planet, Traveltron, and Traveltron don't work when you don't hungry dog.
Hey, what kills me is that Beard wanted Chris Paul gone. What do you think Westbrook's gonna do? Westbrook is letting it go. He don't care if Michael Jordan is on his team. He's getting his shot.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised at Westbrook's demeanor on this team. I thought he would come in and defer a lot more than he is.
I'm letting this thing fly.
I think I think they have an understanding though. Whoever got the ball, just get out the way. I'm not passing it to you. You're not passing it to me.
You know why they're losing right in the playoffs, right? You know why they're losing the playoffs? Because those guys, the rest of their role players, staying in the corner and wait. They get no rhythm. Yeah. They have no rhythm.
That's the thing. If they're off, they're in trouble because when they're gonna get the ball with 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
I don't like speaking in absolute, so I won't never.
I never.
But I would be surprised if that system ever wins a championship. I don't care who you put in that system. You could put Magic and Kobe and Michael on the same team. That system.
Yeah, you know why? Because Antonio is involved.
No, and that's the thing, Jimmy. I think at this point, people hired D'Antoni to sell merchandise and tickets.
Sell tickets, yeah.
Some guard on his team, some guard under D'Antoni is going to turn into a superstar, super duper star. Nash.
He turned Insanity to a star.
No, not only that. He had Raymond Felton averaging 19 and 8. And Raymond Felton is not better than anyone on this program.
Hey, you mean
Raymond Felton built like me. He's built like me, and I'm my shoulder.
But before I run, guys, because I know you got to run, but I'll say these couple of quick things. First, Jameis Winston is hitting that 30 interception mark by midway through the first quarter. I might put money on it. I did make money.
It's better, man. Because at this point, if he don't get it, that's corny. He got to make history.
Excitement.
Because I put money on him throwing that pick in the first quarter. Last week I made a little bit of money off of that. Gus should have put that in his picks. But
I bet you ain't make that bet with my bookie.
If the white man had it, I'd probably put the money down on it. But white man bet colder. but I'll say this.
Do you have any more Jameis defense? You have any more Jameis defense at this point?
No, let him finish. Let him finish, man. So
No. I was gonna say that I just want to see him in year 2. If he, I don't think he's gonna throw this many picks the next year because I'm talking under Arians.
More like year 8.
I'm talking under Arians. I think I get one more year under Arians because every quarterback is throwing like 20-something picks his first. Just let's get one more year because there ain't nothing out there. So
that means you will have to franchise him, though, right? So you're gonna pay him $35 million.
What hell?
35
what
picks.
hell? Kurt,
$1 million a pick.
Well, hey, I look at it like this. You're not in position to draft anybody this year because they're going to pick like 17, 18. And then if you do draft somebody, just let them walk, And that's just how I look at it. If you go draft somebody first round, just let them walk. Don't dilly-dally around with it. But yeah, I saw the story talking $30 million. I said, well, what are you supposed to do? Everybody's supposed to ask for it. But, hey, you guys have a good one. And remember to get those Air Woke One. Shout out to Cap.
All right, no doubt. Hey, they sold out. I'm gonna get me some, man. Tell with Whitlock.
Me too.
And happy
I'm gonna wear
Happy Kwanzaa
Whitlock.
to you, brother. Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy
to
Hanukkah.
you. All right. Yo, them Airwalk ones, all right. I mean, they Air Force Ones, but I like the afro on the back. I don't know what Colin Kaepernick's end game is, but I'm still supporting.
Yo,
so
the only thing this Colin Kaepernick situation with the sneaks did for me is made me realize how crazy LeVar Arrington is. Cause I don't know what he was talking about.
Oh yeah, I saw that clip too.
Yo, that clip you sent me, yo.
I told you, like Whitlock,
like,
Arrington, and Marcellus Wiley, they were killing the dude. T.J. Houshmandzadeh was trying to defend him. I just don't think T.J.'s smart enough. So nothing he said.
LeVar Arrington was saying stuff that was so stupid and ridiculous that it'd be awesome. It was one of them joints where like you arguing with somebody and somebody jump on your side and they sound so crazy that you wish they wasn't on your side.
Shout out the house. Shout out the house.
Right. When House agree with you or when radio agree with you. Like, we're not saying the same thing, dog. Like, not at all.
The Boulevard Arrington was like, if Kaepernick was real, he would have Nike fund presidential campaign. I said, yo, what are you talking about?
Yo.
He was a real revolutionary. He was funding a campaign for a president.
LeVar Arrington is one of them dudes where he came around at the time where you didn't have to prove your authenticity to grow your locks. This is always proven to me. Like he's
funny thing is though, he on TV judging people and he skipped out of DC owing a lot of people money. So you got restaurants that closed down and you ain't tell nobody. People came to work and the doors was locked. They ain't never got any checks. Like, come on, you can't be on TV judging people like we don't know your backstory. Anyway, let's get into some of this decade stuff, man. We are celebrating the end of a decade. Forbes came out with a list of the highest paid athletes of the decade. And you know who was on top of that list. And no matter what his financial status is right now, I'm expecting some tweets from Floyd Mayweather in the coming days because, just by them putting that up there, he can come out and just brag. I mean, he could be at like $14 right now. Oh, he does. Yeah, that's what I expected. Yeah, he could be at $14 right now. But as far as appearances, as long as the Forbes put that little list out there, it puts him right back in the forefront, right back in the news, no matter what he's going through right now. And I'm just
right to the ground.
I don't think Floyd is broke.
Well,
I know he ain't
him that wrote it
close to a Billy, but
because it wasn't any spelling there, so I don't think it was him. But somebody wrote it, talking about how all of that was without endorsements, and because he owned his own brand, owned his own promotion, and he created his own TMT brand. So that 900 whatever it was wasn't including that according to him. So he let his hands go. He definitely did. Oh, by the way, on our previous comment, just want to put out there that Tobias pointed out that LeVar Arrington is married to an Anglo-Saxon person. I just want to put that out there. But anyway,
far.
So
listen, the Forbes highest paid athletes of the decade. Here's the top 10. Floyd Mayweather came in at number 1 with $915 million. Cristiano Ronaldo, number 2 at $800 million. Lionel Messi, number 3 at $750 million. LeBron James, number 4 at $680 million. Roger Federer at number 5 at $640 million. Tiger Woods, after all the crap he went through in the decade, still comes in at number 6 at $615 million. Phil Mickelson, number 7, $480 million. Manny Pacquiao, number 8, $435 million. Kevin Durant, number 9, $425 million. And Lewis Hamilton, I am not familiar with his body of work, $400 million at number 10. So those are your top 10 earners in sports for the decade. Yo,
Yo.
Is Lewis Hamilton.
I had a realization, not a realization, but so I listen to a lot of music, but I'm fans of like the UK grime scene. So I was listening to
a
some
race
music
car
and I
driver,
watched,
y'all.
Yeah.
Keep this to watching
Formula
some videos.
Formula
Yo,
One.
there be African soccer players that I have never heard of. Like it was one dude who was in a couple videos that I watched, and they was making a big deal out of it. So I looked him up. Bo was making like $38 billion a year, and he could walk in front of me in the market. I would have had no idea.
Yeah. We know all
African soccer players, boy.
Yeah, we know all them dudes.
Yeah,
on all of
I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all do because y'all into the soccer game. But what I'm saying is, like, over here, we don't care about none of that. Like, but I guess globally speaking, outside of US of A, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Trump
Trump
does
and
an
you.
amazing job of. Huh?
I said you and Trump don't care about none of that. I got you.
No, it ain't just Trump. Listen, man. Listen, talking to people, I'm telling you, the USA does an amazing job of marketing even to the people that live here, because we don't care about like. I mean, how should I put this? We don't care about nobody but ourselves. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, all our championships are world championships. You ain't played nobody
we
but
call
American
Jones
teams.
world championships. Like, if you ain't
champions of the world, Craig.
Come outside of here, guys.
Yo, you beat a team from like Brooklyn, Milwaukee,
you beat a team from Jersey,
and you world champions. Like,
so everybody else, is, to quote your president, comes from an S-hole country.
All right, so keeping with the theme, though, this decade theme, who would y'all say, and I guess this definitely has to come from sports that we care about, who would y'all say is the team? Well, let's keep it in America. Who's the greatest American sports team of the decade?
Well, considering the Patriots cheat, I guess it would have to be Golden State.
I was about to say, because I think it may come down, like Jimmy just said, I think it comes down to the New England Patriots and the Golden State Warriors. So making it easier for us and not having to sit here and think for 18 minutes. Between those two, you said, Jimmy, you got the Golden State Warriors?
The Patriots are a bunch of cheaters.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I mean, according to Tobias, he says it's roll damn tide, but I don't remember the Patriots or the Golden State Warriors getting embarrassed on national TV the way the Tide did last time I saw them playing a championship game. They were made to look like little boys. I mean,
let's see.
Even when Golden State and the Patriots lost, they didn't get their hymen bust on national TV.
You. I'm trying. How many in this decade? How many titles has Alabama won? Tobias, answer that for us real quick. I just want to be factual when I say this.
I mean, I don't know.
They were in the joint 4 times.
Last time I saw them, they let that boy with the long hair take advantage of them, and they shouldn't have.
Yeah, I think they have 3, just like the Warriors and I think they have 3, just like the Warriors and the New England Patriots. I guess we could put them up in there as finalists as well. But Jimmy, you said you got the Warriors. B. Austin, who you got?
I got the Warriors.
Warriors, come out and play.
Even when
what they did for the NBA. They did a lot to actually change the game. Steph had a big part in that, but just the way people construct teams and the way people play, they definitely did that. I still think I have to give it to the Patriots, even though, they had the same amount of championships. I also believe they were in the same amount of Super Bowls this decade as Golden State was in finals, and I believe that's the number there is 5. Alabama was in 4. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Patriots, man. I'm
gonna go with the Warriors.
They've been in the playoffs, something crazy. I think it'll be 12 straight playoff appearances, coming up in the next week. So, it's just been dominance. And I don't understand how they're still doing it because they low-key dominated the last decade, too. So, like Jimmy always says, one day they're gonna regress back to the mean, back to what they used to be. But for now, they're on like a 2-decade run where they've just dominated the NFL.
It's very impressive. But when I think of the Tens, though, the Warriors defined, even outside of sports, culture, business, music. Like the Warriors defined culture this past decade. Like the game has changed because of them. They were doing it in the NBA that supposedly belonged to somebody else. Exactly. The whole idea is Silicon Valley and what it's meant to the culture this past decade, where the team that's from there and embraces that, they were culture.
Light-skinned brothers could still hoop. We were thinking of Doug Christie when you think of light-skinned brothers, man. Now we think of Steph and Clay. You know what I'm saying? Splash brothers, man.
Just everything that the Tens were in terms of the big companies, the social media, all of that is encompassed in the Golden State Warriors. The New England Patriots have this vibe of still old school. It's Tom Brady and Belichick are the face of it.
No, they're what the Patriots are. They're the Spurs of the NFL because a lot of the stuff that they do it when you feel like they should be done. All right, they're gonna fall off eventually, and then they just won't fall off. I mean, the Spurs, I think the fall off has come, but it took almost as much time.
When I think of the Tens, if we're talking about the Tens, you're right. They did have 2 decades that the Patriots have been competitive. But when I think of the Tens, I'm going to personally think of the Warriors because outside of just what happened on the court, they just defined the decade to me, in everything, just in culture in general. With KD coming in, KD being hated, with Steph coming and becoming a global icon. You know what I'm saying? Whole thing. Steve Kerr did signing DeMarcus Cousins, didn't work out. The whole thing. They're the
I feel sorry for Boogie, though he was getting a free ring when KD got hurt. Wasn't even about him getting hurt. And here's your stat of the decade as far as the NFL goes as such, and it is about the Patriots. The New England Patriots in this decade have won more games, which is 141, with 4 potential wins still on the table because they got next week, and if they make another Super Bowl run, potentially 3 wins after that. They've won more games this decade, 141, than any other NFL team in any other decade, breaking their own record from last decade at 126. So they have 141 wins this decade and counting. Actually, there aren't 4 more left on the table because this weekend will be the last. Once the playoffs start, that'll be in another decade. So I think the most they could get is 142 wins. That's crazy. But you said, who knows how much they cheated to get these 141 wins.
Up until this year, they were spotted about 6. They were spotted 6 games with that trash division. So you multiply 6 times 10, that's 60 right there. We gotta.
I think they still spotted them wins. They still spotted them wins. Their division this year just has some teams that went outside the division and won some games, but they still be kneeling down when the Patriots come to town.
So
their first step wasn't
right
winning
there.
Inside their division. Their first steps were to win outside the division. And we've seen flashes of this throughout the last 2 decades, but there's no other team in that division that's going to be consistent with it. Buffalo made the playoffs a few years ago for the first time since Bruce Smith and them. And, so I have no belief in them that them making it again this year is going to mean, okay, Buffalo's in it now. Next year they're back.
So that means that
I have no belief in
that. That means that about 43% of those games were against the Dolphins, Bills, and Jets.
True that. All right. Yeah, so our quote of the week. Okay, B.
I said I'm going with the Warriors.
Okay. our quote of the week comes from aftermath of the Christmas Day NBA slate. Magic Johnson says, quote, in both losses to the Clippers this season, the Lakers played great for the first 3.5 quarters and didn't play well in the last 5 minutes of the game. Magic, Captain Obvious Johnson. Y'all got any thoughts on
Magic Johnson?
Anybody? Y'all got any comments on that analysis? On that in-depth analysis from Magic?
Yo, that was one step from being in McFarland land, because Booger McFarland is like next level.
Yo, they were memeing him to death on Christmas. Remember to wrap your Christmas gifts, because if you don't wrap them, there'll be nothing to open.
Yo, those Booger McFarland memes made my life that day. I was dying. But Magic got to chill with the cat. Magic quit his job so he could tweet about the NBA and rub noses with the players. And this is what you gonna put out?
This is what
if you're gonna quit your job so you can tweet, put out some fire.
No, because the thing is, even if you're gonna say something like this, if this is gonna be the start of your analysis, you don't need the first half of the sentence and the last half of the sentence. You've already explained that they played 3.5 quarters. So then why do you have to add on that they didn't play well in the last 5 minutes of the game?
At least we know he writes his own tweets. Yeah, my man Magic Johnson took a job at
Starbucks barista.
Yo,
he had a rude awakening.
Y'all want me to ask work? You want me to come?
He had a rude awakening.
On,
and then last week, because we didn't even get a chance to get to that, he's trying to take the credit for the success that they're having now.
Yeah, get on the line. Get on the baseline.
What? Magic like? Yo, y'all gotta give me some credit for what's happening right now. This was my plan and my vision all along. Yeah, but you didn't make it happen though. Because truthfully, it's funny that he wants to try to take the credit now, Jim. Because you remember when Kawhi, ran the okie doke on the Lakers, everybody and their mama, including myself, were saying, "Damn, he left them in a position to not really get anything," and free agency, because they had to pick from what was left. But then as you saw the Lakers, putting that team together, you're like, yo, they did pretty well to not be able to start for a month because they were waiting for Mute to make his decision. And then when he,
shout to Uncle Dennis, for swinging for the fences, though. Uncle Dennis,
Uncle Dennis
is the top businessman of the decade.
Yo, Uncle Dennis was. He be in the NBA meetings talking like he in the movie Blue Chips. Like, so what you got for my family? Like, what do you mean, what am I going to do for your family? We're about to pay the dude $30 million a year. What do you mean, what am I going to do for your family?
Yo, be awesome. Have you heard about Uncle Dennis, cuz?
Yeah, Uncle Dennis said, I need shares.
Uncle Dennis is a legend.
He asked for ownership. That's not legal, Uncle Dennis.
5% ownership. Need an additional $4 million in salary just for me annually, and I need usage of the private jet. In fact, no, I don't want usage of the private jet. Buy me a private. Buy me
when
a private.
And I need when the Kawhi gets that good, though.
Uncle Dennis is a legend. He said,
"Yo,
we
Scotty said
Iron
Magic Johnson is on his Rob from Cali analysis."
Yup.
Uncle Dennis said, I'm going to strike while the iron is hot. Yo, my man said, I'm going to need a down payment on the Statue of Liberty. Like, he was out
Rob from Cali be like, yo, when the Eagles win, they look good. When they lose, they look bad. Yo. Rob. Like, come on, my dude.
He be like, yo, the Eagles should trade for Aaron Rodgers. The Eagles should trade
Jalen Ramsey right now. Now.
They should get Bill Belichick.
Yo, he be talking like Howie Roseman is Uncle Dennis. Like, you just get whatever you want. Like, come on, you can't just call people and say, "Give me your best player." No.
He named all the great players, yo.
They should have traded for this.
The Eagles should get. The Eagles should put in a trade and get Christian McCaffrey.
And you're saying everybody on the roster a bum. Who are we gonna trade for Christian McCaffrey?
Yo,
all right, man.
Yo, he talk like they playing Madden, yo. What's up, Rob?
That's your quote of the week, man. Magic Drawn. Y'all know the drill, man. During the show or, during the week, y'all can check out our website at worldrunsports.com. Just click on click on everything. Browse. See what's going on. It's a whole lot more than you probably think. So check us out there. But we're going to get into while y'all were on the grind with Jimmy the Blueprint.
Yes, sir. And if you don't know, because you just starting to listen, first of all, if you just starting to listen, something wrong with you, yo.
You missed a decade.
With that being said, you know what I'm saying? We the show of the decade. While You Were on the Grind is brought to you by Sports the Book, the best book of the decade. How do you get that? You go to sportsthebook.com or theworldrunsports.com, get that book. It's the greatest sports book written, especially this decade. But listen.
Best website of the decade.
Yeah, website of the decade, worldrunsports.com. Yo, first thing I got to talk about that happened while you were on the Grizz 98 is y'all man Adam Gase, man. Yo, Adam Gase.
What did you say, Adam Gangster?
Getting criticized. Yeah, Adam Gase was getting criticized for his ability to coach, and he responded by saying, yo, I'm rich. It's P-H-U-C-K. I'm not even going to pronounce that word. I just spelled it for you in my ebonical way. My man said, rich is P-H-U-C-K, so, deal with it. That's his response to being criticized for his coaching. So he don't even care.
So basically, Adam Gase
he basically said, I got
on the Floyd Mayweather mentality now. Y'all can't say nothing to me. I'm rich as F. Yeah, they said that's his go-to line. And it's not like he just said it once. They said that's his go-to line whenever he's, getting into it with a fan. They say in private he says stuff like that. Like he talks like, he talked like he a culture vulture, because one quote I saw, they said in private he says stuff like, I have 0 F's to give because I'm rich as F and I'm going to win my way. Dude, first of all, you like something like 29 and 34 as a head coach. So you're not winning your way, their way, or no way. Every major offensive statistical category for the Jets from last year to this year, they've decreased. He's 29 and 35 in 4 seasons as a head coach. Listen to this, though. He's lost 26 games. Remember, he only lost 35, but he's lost 26 of those 35 games by double digits. He lost 22 by at least 2 touchdowns, and he's lost 12 by at least 20 points. They said on average he loses once every 4 games by at least 18 points. And then they says when he wins, it's always, quote-unquote, white knucklers down to the wire. They said he's lost 1 in 3 games by at least 2 touchdowns in his head coaching career. 1 out of every 2.5 games result in a double-digit defeat. This dude be getting the doors blown off of him.
Yo,
and he talking about I want to win my way, and I don't give a F. Yo, he be out there getting pounded.
Undefeated at Wells Fargo.
Yes, he is.
My man, look, I bring a team out here every Sunday, and we get our Chiefs pants. But when we go to the bank, it's all gravy.
Yeah.
It's all gravy, man. So, I'm saying, yo, keep this story, though. The Philadelphia Eagles, right, have a new fan cruise that's going to start in 2021. I can't wait to see this cruise take off.
Don't do it.
It's a luxury cruise line, and they're having a cruise specifically for Philadelphia Eagles fans.
This Royal Caribbean.
All kinds of debauchery going on.
This Royal Caribbean, Jim, on one of the bigger ships that hold 4,000 people. They're going to have 4,000 Eagles fans at sea. I'm an Eagles fan, Jimmy, and this would be the most annoying vacation of my life. You will be on the sea with 4,000 people screaming EAGLES Eagles 645,000 times in 7 days. Yo, I would jump off the boat.
Yeah, it's people going overboard on this one. This is a guarantee.
When they get lathered up, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, and they said people like because it's not just going to be, and this is going to happen March 21st to 28th, 2021. Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas. Like I said, that's one of their bigger ships. They said former Eagles linebacker Ike Reese, He's going to be there. Harold Carmichael, Jeremiah Trotter, David Akers, Vince Papali. He's still living off that. And Mike Quick and others. Y'all think Donovan going or not?
Yeah, he got that. He got to get that check. He getting that check. He needs that check.
You know damn well Donovan ain't going on no boat with no Eagles fans, B. He's going to see 4,000. Well, he's going to see at least 2,500 of you on that boat. He ain't going on that boat. He'll see 2,500 of you, 1,500 of that boy that tried to get thrown under a car for defending dude the way he was. Like,
all I'm saying is,
his presence alone would cause altercations on the boat. That's when people going overboard. If Donovan stepped in there.
The one player who should show up is probably B-Dog.
Brian.
B-Dog's the only. He's the Eagles player I know that don't nobody dislike. Even people that don't like the Eagles like Brian Dawkins. Like Brian Dawkins might be the most beloved.
Ain't that crazy though, Jim? Like wouldn't it seem crazy to hear somebody say, "I hate Brian Dawkins"?
Yeah, you start judging them. You start judging them like, what's wrong with your life?
Right, like what's wrong with you?
What B. Austin say about Curtis Martin? Like he's a nice guy. He's what the B. Austin call Curtis Martin?
He's kind.
He's kind. Yo,
he's kind.
He's kind.
Smart. You is kind. Yeah.
I called him
He don't curse. He don't curse. He don't drink.
If B-Dog stepped on this boat, he wouldn't have to walk with his own feet the whole week. Like they would carry him around to wherever he's going on the boat or on the islands when they dock and go on excursions.
And some of them dudes will be offering their wives to him.
Right.
And that's like that's not even a joke.
Right. B-Dog will be in B-Dog will be in the cruise in the pool, which I've never been. Jim, have you ever been on a cruise ship pool? In a cruise ship pool?
I haven't, yo. I haven't.
Yo, them Jones look like dirty bathwater. No matter how nice the ship is, they look like dirty bathwater. But B. Austin to be in that. I said B. Austin.
The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
Like
I'm about to say
every hour on the hour. Yeah, B. Austin definitely gonna be at the bar with a $2,000 bill. Yo, so you going, B. Austin?
Single malt.
You going on the Eagles cruise?
Nah, I'm cool.
Neil said pool water is disgusting. Yeah, pool water, period, is disgusting. But at least, it's most public pools are big enough, and they throw enough chlorine in there to try to fight some stuff. I'm about to say,
all you gotta do is OD.
Wait till you go on a cruise.
Money.
You go on a cruise. The pools are so small, they just looks like dirty bathwater, especially on a Carnival.
Yo,
I ain't trying to throw you under the bus, Carnival, but how the dirty is get.
You getting scabies, Carnival cruise.
So y'all think y'all man ADP gonna show up at that cruise?
Yeah, he will.
Yeah,
the John not though. I don't think she allowed to do stuff no more. But
I'm not commenting on that. I will move to the next story.
EDP gonna be the one dirtying up the pool. He gonna dirty up the pool.
Yo, y'all man Enos Cancer is still out here testing his fate because he's wearing the Freedom for All T-shirt. We already know he's wanted in about 4 or 5 different countries, dead or alive.
Yeah.
But he came out before the Celtics against the game against the Raptors with a T-shirt that says Freedom for All.
Which is funny, Joe, because this is the first time he's traveled outside of America since the 2018 season. If y'all, don't remember, we talked about this before. The Turkish president, because Enes Kanter is very outspoken about him, he's basically placed dude on the terror list and revoked his passport. So he hasn't been able in 2 seasons to go to a Toronto game. He couldn't play when the Celtics went to, not the Celtics, who was he with? Somebody he was playing with went to London. Might have been the Knicks. They went to London. He couldn't go to that game because they revoked his passport and placed him on a terror list.
It was waiting.
For this Christmas game, Canada, Canadian officials made sure that he was going to be cool so he can come with the team and play in the game. And like Jimmy said, he took that opportunity to go ahead and wear a shirt that might be a little antagonizing to the people that's trying to keep him from being able to do
Trolling.
that. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, but you're trolling on a dangerous level here. If they let you do that, just do it quietly, because they're going to kill you one day. We're going to see a very tragic story about Enes Kanter one day.
And LeBron.
It's crazy.
LeBron,
it's crazy. The country is, man. One of the benefits we get to slander public officials, because, I mean, you know, the boys, his mentions be filthy. Like, we get to slander him, which is a beautiful thing. So salute to us for
other
getting
countries
to
you
slander
get killed.
our leaders.
45.
We get to slander our leaders. We got the right to slander him, which is beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing. But yo, salute to Enes Kanter, man. Be safe, though. And my tax don't voice. Be safe, though. Yo, man. Here's a good story for you, gentlemen. Here's a good story for you, gentlemen, during this holiday season. And happy Hanukkah to those listening. Al Collins, he surprised his mom with a house for Christmas. So, you know what I'm saying? The team ain't playing well, but he's out there, you know, making it happen for his mom. Bought her a crib. For
he was out there house shopping while he's supposed to be in his playbook. But that's not my business.
he like, yo, I don't care. He don't mess with Jason Garrett fault.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's
a whole crib for Christmas. So that's a fire story. Like,
that's a hell of a Christmas gift. How do you top that?
Dope.
How you top that?
I know. What are you gonna do next year?
Yeah, you know. I ain't no baller.
We'll make
I ain't
10
no
million
baller like that. But I bought my wife a minivan for Christmas last year. Like, I can't top that unless I bought her something luxury, and I can't afford that. So that ain't never getting topped. Minivan it is. Come back next year with perfume. Minivan the perfume.
Significant step down.
Hell yeah.
Yo.
Take this perfume and smell good in your minivan. But shout out to Lyle.
So those are the stories. Those are the stories that happened while you were on. Like, what happened? Date in sports history, yo. I know we got something happening.
This date in sports history, man. We gotta take it way back to 1919, December 26, 1919. This was actually a big day in sports because this was the day that the Red Sox and Yankees reached an agreement on the transfer of one Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees. This is the day that the so-called curse of the Bambino started, that the Red Sox just now got out of at the beginning of this century. I believe it was like 86 years or something like that before the curse of the Bambino was lifted. But, you know, cities like Boston, they lift the curse and then they just go crazy. They win like 4 or 5 of them joints.
Man. The Bambino's salary was $80,000 in 1930.
Yo, wasn't that Pedro Martinez who was like dig him up and I know with him too?
Yeah, Pedro was a thug. Yo, he beat up the old dude, the old coach on the Yankees. Dude came at him.
Yeah, Pedro was out of pocket.
Pedro a thug.
He was like,
but speaking of this,
I'll throw at him too.
Because I know there's a lot of people out there that just think the whole aura and the whole career and everything that Bambino accomplished was kind of sus, kind of fraud, especially since times change. I was watching something a couple of weeks ago, and I found out like another rule that's changed that might have helped him in his numbers. You know how now you hit a joint deep out into the field, and if it bounces and goes out, not even bounces on the wall, like if it bounces on the ground and goes out, they call it like a
double.
Damn, what do you call it? A double. It's a double, but it's called something. I forgot the term. Ground rule double is what they call it.
Ground rule double.
Ground rule double. Back then, and when Babe Ruth was hitting quote-unquote ground rule doubles, they were home runs. If the ball bounced and it went out, they called it a home run.
I didn't know that.
So I'm wondering how many of them joints he probably hit, you know what I'm saying, that they're actually counting as home runs that other dudes aren't counting as home runs.
Bambooski wasn't a real ski. Oh.
Yo, I messed with the Bambino because his off the field behavior, because he was out there like, you know,
it was on the field though. He was drinking beer in the dugout, like.
Yeah, he was out there
smoking,
just living it up, like. his life was amazing. As short as it was, he lived an amazing life.
Him and Wilt could have hung out, had things to talk about, places to go, people to see. Him and Wilt.
Pretty much.
Not for other reasons though. Stuff called Jim Crow. But I mean, anyway.
Jack Johnson.
All right, so yeah, let's get into some NBA talk to get us up out of here. We really only have one big topic that we need to talk about since this is the last show of the decade.
We're going to get out of here.
Yeah, so before we do that, like I told you earlier, y'all can check out our website at WarRoomSports.com. If you want to call in and speak with us about anything NBA related, you can dial the Digital Extreme Tech hotline at 323-410-0012, or you can press 1 when prompted. If you're already listening from your phone, just press 1 if you want to talk.
All right, listen. We gonna get out of here. We gonna get out of here early tonight. But I do have one topic that I want to get everybody's opinion on, and that includes you, Skyview, Bias, everybody. Listen, I want to get y'all opinion on this too. But before we do, gotta let you know that NBA Rap is brought to you by Digital Extreme Technologies. If you need a custom website, go to digitalextremetech.com or call 267-205-403. Stop using Facebook pages. I mean, if you got your OnlyFans page popping, salute to you. But you got to get a custom website, digitalextremetech.com, 267-205-4203. Say I heard it in the War Room and get you a discount. But it's time to talk about hoops, this thing of ours. All right, so here's my one question. I want to get everybody's perspective on this, and you don't have to just rush to answer it. Think about it. Right, so we always talk about this whole decade thing. Who is the NBA player of the decade? Now, there's only 2 names that most people name, and I think it's probably between the 2. But I want to say what everybody's opinion is.
2-horse race.
Who's the player of the decade? And if you give me your opinion of why you feel it. Is it Curry or is it LeBron, Raymond, James? Who's the player of this last decade?
If you think it's somebody else, add name here. But yeah, I think our conversation centers around the 2 that Jimmy just said.
I can't see nobody else. Go ahead,
Scott. What's your NBA-related comment? Okay. What'd you say?
So, I can't.
Yeah, I mean, the only other person you probably could try to name is a Kevin Durant, but it's hard to put him in it because he kind of came on and latched on to Steph's success, even though they may not have had the later success without a Kevin Durant. But the way everybody will always look at it, you joined a team that was already devastating. You getting on that team just assured that y'all were going to keep going, but you kind of jumped on the Steph's train after it left the station. So that's why I think it just comes down to LeBron and Steph. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I think it should be LeBron James, but there's a lot of stuff with Steph that you got to take into consideration. I hear this all the time, especially when people are having these GOAT conversations, these legends conversations, these Mount Rushmore type conversations. They always talk about who changed the game. And I think of these 2 players, the only person that really has that distinction is Steph. I think LeBron, I don't think he did anything to change the game, though I still don't think we've ever seen a complete physical package, like LeBron James brought to the game and the stuff that he can do, from pretty much any position on the court. But when we talk about change the game, we spoke about it earlier in the broadcast. The league has gone from the 3-point line. I mean, it was always building up to where it was going to be more prominent in the game than it used to be. But now it just seems like Steph opened the floodgates. And he and the Golden State Warriors and the style that they played, at least the way people view them, has the whole league out here just launching. Every night I watch the NBA, to me, I don't call them basketball games anymore. It's like I'm sitting down to watch the daily 3-point contest. People just run up and down the court shooting threes, even though the Warriors didn't necessarily play like that. But interpretation sometimes is a hell of a drug. and this is what people think they saw, and now they out here going crazy with it. And I think Steph has a lot to do with why the NBA and not just the NBA. He might have changed basketball. You walk into any gym right now, any age, and there's no supervision, there's no organized practice going on. All the kids are doing from 5 years old to teenagers are just just letting it fly. And most of them can't shoot, but they let it fly any damn way.
Here's one thing I will give LeBron credit for, right? So I think LeBron did change the game, right, a little bit in that he brought back the kind of guy that did a little bit of everything. So when Michael Jordan came in the league, right, and was so dominant at scoring and pretty much doing everything, all the guys that came after him felt like they had to put the ball, they had to shoot a gazillion times a game and be the dominant scorer. Where I see a lot of guys now, where LeBron has an impact in terms of being able to do a little bit of everything, where you don't have to necessarily be the dominant scorer. Steph comes in, changes it again, and makes the
I don't know, because I think LeBron
what it is.
I think LeBron was both. And the reason why I say LeBron didn't change the game, I just think LeBron, I don't think he could change the game because it's not easy to impersonate LeBron.
You can't,
imitate. It's not a knock against him. Plus, it's not a knock against him. Plus, my answer is LeBron. I think LeBron is the player.
No, I get that.
I was just giving Steph cake. I think Steph is easier to impersonate because you could be the average height, size dude off the street and do what Steph does. You just got to learn how to shoot.
I totally get what you're saying.
You can't impersonate him.
I don't see the alpha guys coming in like when Kobe and McGrady came in and they felt like they had to shoot the ball 68 times a game. Now, you still do have James Harden, but I see guys.
I'm about to say, you got a lot of dudes averaging 25 and up these days that don't seem that damn good.
Everybody's scoring. The NBA, statistically speaking,
because of the three-point line, because of Steph.
Stratosphere.
The three-point line is the great equalizer.
It's because of Steph, but it's also because of a lot of things. A lot of times we're going to want to admit this, but this whole idea, this D'Antoni nonsense in terms of the speed of the game, and the success that he had in terms of building players and making an exciting brand of basketball had an effect on the overall game. Because it's Steph, but it's more than Steph. There are more shot attempts. The game is moving so much faster. The way the game is efficient has changed. And all of it really, if you really, really get deep into it, it goes down to capitalism. But we could deal with that another day. I'm pretty sure you guys know what I mean when I say that.
Oh, yeah.
But when I talk about the player of the actual decade, it's tough because the team success is there. But to me, it still has to be LeBron. This is LeBron's decade. Because to me, LeBron, and not to take one of his sayings, but it's bigger than basketball. LeBron James is like a global icon. LeBron James is the only player, in my opinion. This is my opinion. I know people will hate when I say this because there's a lot of Kobe fans, a lot of Tim Duncan fans, a lot of Shaq fans. LeBron is the only player since Mike to reach that level that Mike has reached in terms of being bigger than the game. His name holds weight. He's the only player. I don't think Kobe had reached that level. I don't think even Shaq reached a level. Hakeem. Now, these are all great players that came, post Mike. But I think LeBron is in the air in terms of being bigger than the game of basketball.
No, I don't disagree with that. Because I think the Kobe respect and the LeBron respect, I think it's two different things. I think Kobe is respected more by NBA peers, respected and maybe feared, where I don't think LeBron necessarily has ever, hoarded that fear over the league. But like you said, on an iconic level, stuff being bigger than the game, yeah, he's definitely arrived there. I mean, and that's the main reason why you're always going to hear people saying LeBron or Jordan, and they're going to try to make it a basketball thing. When it comes to basketball, I really think, it might not be as close as people think it is, but when you factor everything else into it, LeBron is the only person on his level. My opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, LeBron, because LeBron is an icon. It's so much. It's to do with his business, his school. I mean, at this point, my man is getting points for like showing up at his son's game. Like it's just everything. It's the way he's carried himself on and off the court. It's the I can't.
But you know, a lot of that hype comes from stuff that Mike didn't do.
Yeah,
Mike
didn't care about.
He did show up to his son's game that time because y'all remember that time Eric Gordon was giving his son the business and kept looking at Mike in the crowd.
Yo, he was like, "Oh, you Mike's son? Take these buckets." He was on my way to the league.
He was giving him work.
He was like, "Take these buckets on my way to the league. You stay here."
Skyview says, he says I was.
Mike kid got a spanking after that.
Oh yeah.
Mike kid had to get a spanking after that.
Don't embarrass me like that.
Yo,
no, I was just gonna read Skyview's comments, but go ahead, B.
Played for, what was it, FSU, MAU, whatever it was he played for, and
some bum.
Their team sneak was Adidas, and his son refused to wear it. So Mike came in and suited the whole school up. Like, all right, FOH, I got the whole school contract now with Jordan. So that was kind of like, that was pretty dope to see him do that.
I still wouldn't have
Eric Gordon still gave him hell.
That was the equivalent. of Brown in the layup line. I'm gonna just buy y'all something. Mike don't do nothing. He just put his money. Mike just buy you something.
When I think of Steph, what he can do, as I think you pointed out, Dev, it is relatable to the common man. I mean, even though we know that the common man
doing it.
doesn't have the hand-eye coordination, can't hit that, but you can try. You just can't try to be 6'9" and 280 pounds. Like it's just and run that fast and jump that high and do it like LeBron is impossible to imitate or emulate. I'm also not convinced that Steph is as dominant as LeBron. In fact, I would say he's nowhere near as dominant as LeBron. He's dominant in his own right and in his own way. He'll go down as a top 5 point guard of all time, I believe. But LeBron, as you said, is in rare air, I believe, and I would put him top 5 of all time, bar none. Like that's where he lands. So I would say that it has to belong to LeBron Raymond.
I definitely believe it. And the thing is, though, where people are going to look negatively upon him is because his decade had to be shared, because there was an argument. You know what I'm saying? There are people out there who thinks it's Steph because, again, they go by the rules that they think Michael Jordan made. Like, you got to win, damn near all of the damn championships in a decade for you to own that decade. Whereas LeBron had another player to win just as many as he did in the decade. Mm-hmm. But come on, LeBron was hands down the greatest player, the greatest icon in the decade. Steph, he made his run at it, but
but here's the thing though,
bigger than basketball.
Steph is relatable, but it's funny because I read Andre Iguodala's biography, and in this book he talks about how people think that Steph just comes from hard work. He was saying how Steph is blessed with some sort of like weird savant type hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
He said dealing with hand-eye coordination, Steph dominates that. He said so when the team is out, he said they're playing darts. Like Steph dominates the entire team. He said when it comes to like golf, anything dealing with hand-eye coordination, the ball is savant. Like it's weird.
94 into a plastic cup at the end of the court. Steph's going to win that. He's like Steph's hand-eye is otherworldly, like it's supernatural. So he does. I realize that. I'm sure we do as well. There is way more to Steph than meets the eye, but because he's 6'3", because he looks like every man as compared to LeBron, who looks like he because
his whiz is average. Like people think they can be Steph.
Yo, that was uncalled for.
His whiz be at home cooking just like everybody else would. Like, you think, all right, I can do that.
He's beat, though. My fault. Excuse me, I didn't mean to say that.
I think that gets people confused about Steph. No, you can't do what Steph does. Doesn't matter how many shots you take. Your ceiling is Damon Jones, in terms of shooting threes. Like,
question for y'all from Skyview. He said, do y'all think Zion is purposely being held out to win Rookie of the Year next season? You know, that's kind of what they do now. But they keep giving us hope that he might come back. When they've done this with other people, you kind of knew from the jump. Like, they're like, he's not going to play this year. They still keep telling us that he's going to play. But at this point, it only makes sense because the Pelicans aren't good. So, you know, hold him out. Cats like J.J. Redick will be mad because it'll mess up his playoff streak, but he'll probably get traded to a contender by the time.
It's different for Zion because they wanted to bring him back, but they've never dealt with somebody of his size. Like him, I think him being 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", and 320 pounds puts him at a disadvantage in terms of his recovery.
Have to be careful with him instead of just trying to win an award.
He's not necessarily sitting around at the table with us eating, but you know he's a healthy bull and he don't turn down seconds. So while he's healing, he's doing nothing but gaining weight. So then when you bring him back, and you
which
get him
is
on
dangerous
the court,
on a foot because there's going to be even more pressure on that foot.
He's now 340, still jumping out the gym because he's a young bull, but he's 340 playing the small forward. You like, look, man. Come on, man. We're just gonna hold you out. We're gonna put this weight limit in your contract. You've got to be 275, 280, though. You can't come in here at 360, man. You can't do it. We understand you were resting and recovering. So I think that's why they're holding him out, even more so than him just healing. I think he's healing fine, but he's also, you know, he went home for Christmas. They cooked. You know what I'm saying? He came back, a little bit of double chin with him. He's like a Barkley. He's like Chuck.
Yeah, you get him off that court, then it's going to be hell trying to get him back in shape. As far as our question, player of the decade, Neil says her basketball game watching has been sporadic this last decade. She was spending so much time trying to finish her degrees. You know, by the time she came back, the Lakers stunk so bad she didn't want to watch. She didn't watch that much. Yeah. Yes, sir. So
man. So
I think everybody it's unanimous, I believe, here that it's LeBron, no question. You know, I was just giving Steph a little bit of an argument for the people who will make an argument for Steph. I can understand what you're saying, but I don't agree with the end results. I think this was the decade of Raymond.
And by the way,
in
the beginning of the decade and the end of this decade, if you put any GM up, you could have Steph or LeBron. I don't think anybody's taking Steph.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's just that thing. Like sometimes you come along at the wrong time where somebody's out there dominating. The thing is, Steph was blessed enough to be able to share in at least the team success of the dynasty. Of the decade, got him two MVPs, the only unanimous one. So he shared in it enough to have his name brought up. Like you think back to the '90s, and you're not even saying anybody else's name, which is a shame because they had so many, top level superstars back then. But when somebody dominates the thing like that,
Neil before Zod. Y'all not gonna mention Hoodie Melo?
Yeah, I think also because the only other person you can mention is probably the most humble athlete there is, but the honorable. Elijah Wong. But he's gonna tell you that because
he jumped in and grabbed two when the ball was
and rolled out. And was like,
but no, the honorable likes to let you know though. Like no, he was in the league when I got my second one. Don't get it twisted. Like y'all can say what y'all want about him not being what he was, but he was there. He lost the Shaq.
That's still one of the saddest things in sports history that we never got to see that Houston team go against that Bulls team because when they played in the regular season, Houston was cooking them, but never
speaking of
when it really mattered.
That Bulls documentary. It's been pushed back to June, but they starting to cook a little bit with the advertisements again. I thought it was. Remember, we thought it was like January, so now the January is almost here. They must be getting extra footage because when I saw the new ad for it, they were interviewing people I didn't even know watch basketball. Like, what was Nas doing in the commercial?
Dog, all I know is
they interviewed everybody about that. So if they wait until June, they better come to the War Room and ask our opinions. I was there.
Our page is going to be unbearable when this joint drops because all the y'all think Bron fans is bad. Watch this.
No, but it's not even just that though. The Brown fans are going to be out there trashing Mike for no reason, and the Mike fans are going to be out there being annoying as Adam Gase. So
yo, I hate
going to go right back to the.
Let me just make this known. I hate all y'all.
All you.
Anyway, man.
All you rose bearers and bathers and wipers. Come on, man.
All you helmet carriers.
Annoying in that.
We need to be out early. We need extra time to get ready for 500.
Yeah, pretty much so. Let's get out of here, man. Well, thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining us for another thing in the War Room. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, Facebook, Twitter. Anybody, who supported us up to episode 99, salute to all of y'all. We appreciate it. Chat room, make sure y'all there next week, man. Everybody, tune in next week, live right here on demand. It's going to be our 500th episode. That's right. We've been podcasting before podcasting was cool. Make sure y'all here. We're going to do some more reminiscing, bring back some blast from the past, catch you up on everything happening around the world of sports. So until then, enjoy your week. Enjoy the start of next week, and we'll see you right back here next time. Catch everything we do, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything we do at the hub, warroomsports.com. Pick up my book of sports, thebook.com, or at the hub of warroomsports.com. But until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance. We'll see you chumps on top.
Jimmy, know the blueprint. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dez, PJ, B. Austin, Bay on replay. WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-140012. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like magic in the block push. Listen live, push one to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip hop scholars, pit stop and knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college. 5 guys, no beef though. Corporate secret, but the streets know. Belafonte, I got a G flow. KC royalty, I'm in beast mode. 2 hours, get your game up. Who's the best in sportscast? You better name us. War Room Sports. Yeah, you know, Jimmy, Dez, PJ, Shot Bay, B. Austin. I'm Jock. Up and coming on the beat.
War Room Sports, www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.